Hey, what's up guys? Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've just been going through it because this whole state of the world. But I feel like tarot is a lot about reflecting what's going on in your life or in my life, like the tarot reader's life, back at to the people who are getting the reading. So like I feel like what I read in the cards is probably something that's coming up for me, and I just attract people who have similar problems or questions. And so I didn't fart, that was the chair. If you heard that. But I figured a lot of people, even if I don't have words of wisdom to give, even if you don't get like a helpful solution to your problems, at least this can be entertaining, because I know everyone's dying of boredom. So the question that I'm going to ask today is weekly prediction, what's going to happen next week for you. This will definitely include some positive stuff. If you might be going through next week, I'll include whatever comes up, whatever spirit wants me to say, any sort of advice, anything like that. But take it with a grain of salt, because we're all going through it, and maybe this information isn't going to be that helpful, but we'll see. Okay, so I decided not to pre-shuffle, so we'll go ahead and you can choose from these. We got pile 1, Selenite, pile 2, Coral, pile 3, Red Jasper, and then pile 4, the Desert Rose. I don't know the specific name for it because I was too lazy to look it up. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with the Selenite. Okay, so what's happening for you next week? Getting the vibe, shuffle these first. Whoa! Holy moly, you already got stuff flying out for you. So you got the King of Swords, Judgment, and then the Two of Cups in reverse. So immediately I've been feeling like something's been weighing heavy on your mind, and you haven't made you've been trying to make a decision on something, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a decision, but I'm just hearing like you haven't made your mind up. You got the clarifying the King of Swords, you got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then you got the Devil, and then the Five of Wands underneath. So I immediately got the feeling this is regarding some sort of relationship, romantic, platonic, familial. I'm not sure yet, but there's been something that's been bugging you about someone that you can't seem to. It's just been like bothering you a lot, like plaguing your thoughts, and it might have to do with something about like you feel like a connection that you poured a lot of energy into isn't necessarily panning out the way that you want to. Like maybe since you got the Two of Cups in reverse, this person isn't being isn't reciprocating the sort of emotional support that you have been, handing out. Like maybe you have been texting a person, or this is going to happen next week, that you're texting a person and they're not responding the way they used to respond, or perhaps you're going through something and people are just in general feeling an insane amount of anxiety, and so naturally you'd want to reach out to someone and talk to another person about it. And with this Devil and Five of Wands, I'm seeing that this person's like battling their own issues. So don't take offense to this. Although it's, this is going to be with this King of Swords, I'm sensing that you're feeling pretty isolated and lonely, and it's making you feel like you sort of want to cut people off. And not in like a, I'm cutting off all those toxic people, but in a way of just like, your sort of feeling of anxiety and panic is sort of you like closing in on yourself and like backing up. And so I think you may be like, all right, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable, I'm going to reach out to this person, but this person isn't going to give you the response that you're expecting or that you really need. And know that, like, that's okay. That doesn't mean your whole relationship is tainted with this person. A lot of things are, you know, a lot of situations are really suspended at this time. And so just take that, you know, you'll be in just like, this is Nine of Cups in reverse. So this is a period of dissatisfaction, but it's very temporary. I think that's what Spirit wants to say, is that you will be feeling lonely and anxious next week, and you're gonna like try to reach out and get your needs met because you're probably very aware of like what you need, and you take steps to make sure that your needs are met, so that way you're not, you know, projecting or anything, or being passive aggressive, reflecting any of your wounds onto other people. But unfortunately, this is just a period of time where people aren't experiencing connection in the same way, because, you know, everyone is kind of locked inside. And so, but know that the satisfaction is coming soon. And I'm seeing that this is like maybe next week you're going to be feeling dissatisfied and really lonely, but then the week after that, like, whatever your need is that you haven't been getting met, it is going to be met. Whether it's this person coming back around to reach out to you, or finding another source of fulfillment in your life, or just no longer feeling anxious and feeling the need to reach out to anyone. But overall, you're going to be feeling that sense of satisfaction the week after next. So we'll go ahead and pull some. This is the Energy Oracle. See what's coming out for you here. Okay, you got contract. There's some aspect of your life that's extremely delicate. Whoa. And it requires some sort of balance and careful analysis when you're like dealing with it. So we'll see more of like what this is. All these popping out in chunks. Okay. I have a feeling I should pull from another deck. Maybe it's just telling me that's the only card coming out. So can I get a clarifier for this contract? Whoa. You really... Oh, okay. I'm not gonna... That's like 5 cards. Can I just get a few cards to clarify this? What is going on, guys? I swear I'm not like shuffling any different. Okay, whatever comes out for the... I was gonna say whatever comes out for the next one I'm gonna read. Okay, you got the 5 of Cups in reverse, which says relative. And then you got the Hierophant, which says wisdom. So perhaps this is the previous scenario that I was discussing, has to do with a parent or relative. But if not, this could be a completely different situation. And something about perhaps an agreement you made with your parent isn't going to, like, maybe you need to talk to them about maybe some sort of financial situation, or maybe you move back in with your parents, or you have to make, you're reliant on your family for something, and you're gonna have to be very careful about how you go about it. Definitely look within, because the more tactful you are in the situation, the more you're gonna be able to get out of it. So say this has to do with finance. Say you like perhaps lose your job, right? Or you've lost your job. Next week, you know, bills are coming around and you need to talk to your parents about money, asking them for money for bills. And like, you know, they can help you out. Well, this is kind of saying like maybe you can get more this isn't like anything manipulative, but this is like, if you, you know, are honest with them, or if you do something, you like, you know, like maybe if you say some sweet things, or like do like pick up groceries for them or something, you know what I mean? Like, there will be benefit to whatever you're going to, whatever tact you use, whatever strategy you use is going to be really noticeable. Okay. And then anything else from this deck? This is also a tarot deck. And I'll go ahead and read you some advice from the Mystical Shaman Oracle after this. But we'll see if any other scenarios come out for this, of what's happening next week. Got the Empress in reverse. And then you got the Judgment again. Interesting. So with this Empress in reverse, I'm feeling like you might be feeling some sort of lack of confidence. And this may be like looks wise, just because like you might be not going out places, and so it's like hard to feel that sort of validation from other people when you're just stuck inside. This advice for this would be to put effort into your physical appearance, whether that's deciding to, you know, make healthier eating choices, exercising, or perhaps like getting up. Maybe you're not showering every day. Like, make that extra effort to like get up in the morning and shower and then put on makeup. That's definitely something I've been trying to do, because I'll like just go for it, because I'm like, nobody's gonna fucking see me, so who cares? But when I do put on makeup, then I'm like, all right, well, now I have to do something. So then I go on and like I make TikToks, or I like I decided to like start recording myself again for this. So it's just like that sort of like you know, you probably take a lot of pride in your physical appearance when you do, you know, put in effort. And so know that that effort isn't going to be for nothing. Like, if you do decide to like do any of those things, this isn't saying that you're like super unhealthy, or like any sort of pattern you're going through, you know, I know everyone's stuck inside and so they're just eating because there's nothing else to do. This is just saying like, if you want to take a little step, you know, if you're feeling blue and you want to take a little step to help make you feel better, this is definitely something that will help you out. Yeah, and then also, say you put on makeup or something, or you like dress up, even though you're not going to go out anywhere, that still will help you get your like creative juices flowing. So that'll help you with, yeah, just like any sort of creative projects that you wanted to get going, especially with like both of these Judgment cards. You might have been feeling like some sort of lack of direction, and say like, I think you are probably a more vocal group. So with the swords here, contract, and like Judgment with this horn, I'm seeing that like you guys probably have a sort of thought in your mind of like maybe starting a podcast, or like writing music, or something sort of creative where you want to get your voice out there. And this is just saying like, totally go for it. This is going to be a really great time where you can have extra time to explore your options. So just like dump content out and just like see what sticks, not what people like, but like see what you really like, and see how you can really be of assistance or entertainment to other people, you know? It's always a good feeling, because you're probably going to be sensing a huge lack of connection, and the, you know, technology can be a great source for connection at this time. So sort of look at it as that rather than something where you're, you know, mindlessly posting pictures or like trying to get likes. You know, post content where you're like, I'm lonely, other people are lonely, and I'm going to post with everyone in mind. yeah, oh yeah, and then I was going to pull, this one's a little long, 15 minutes? It feels long. Talking for 15 minutes is like, kind of taxing on my voice. Like by the time I get like halfway through all the readings, I'm like, I'm fried. Okay, so any advice for this group? For Selenite group. And Selenite is a great like channeler for energy, and it helps to protect your good energy, your positive energy. So just also take extra steps to do that as well, because you're probably pretty empathic, so any extra anxiety you may feel may also be just coming from like a collective anxiety that you've been feeling, and so it's okay to just relax and take some steps out of that. If you finally like feel some like relief at some point throughout next week, like don't feel guilty. Take it, because it's probably hard for you to hold on to it, you know what I mean? Okay, you got the drum. The essence of the drum. The rhythm of the drum tunes you to the beating heart of the universe. Its wood frame links you to the trees and helps you journey to the lower world via the roots and the upper world through its branches. The drum skin gives the shaman the power of the animal kingdom. Striking the drum calls forth the power of the thunder and the rumbling of the earthquake. The drum invites a trance state where healing and prophecy happen. So the invitation. The drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it is going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. So yeah, again, it's the saying, take the next bold step in your journey, but you don't need to push against the river. Like, you got all the time in the world, so use this time to calm your thoughts and see the next thing you want to try out, and creatively, expressing whatever sort of emotion you've been harboring, and allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. Awesome. So that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If any of that resonated, let me know in the comments down below. And if there are any suggestions or any videos you wanted to watch next, let me know in the comments. And I'll certainly take a look at them and try to fulfill those. Have a good night. Hi guys, so if you chose the coral, this is your reading. That's supposed to go on this deck. I'll go ahead. I'm getting called to read this, start with this deck again. So, what are some predictions or advice for things happening next week? Okay. And that's a lot, so keep that. Okay, well that definitely wanted to come out. So you got the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles. So I'm seeing that you're going to be surprised by having more options in a situation than you expect. You got the 2 of Cups. Then you got the High Priestess. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. So there was a part of it that I felt like it had to do with, because of this 5 of Pentacles, that like maybe you have been maybe struggling financially and not knowing how to get some extra money, or being worried about that. But then I also got this Two of Cups, so this may also be having to deal with some sort of relationship. And it could be both, so they could be intertwined. But I'm seeing that, like, you're probably having some pretty intense dreams right now, so your spirit guides want you to know that you're getting information, you're getting downloads within your dreams. So a lot of times if you're struggling with an issue and you're thinking about it before you go to sleep, ask your spirit guides to guide you to an answer while you're sleeping, and then you'll probably be able to remember your dream and apply it to your situation when you wake up. Because you've probably been feeling like maybe really stressed, then you go to sleep and you wake up and you feel a little bit better, but you're like not sure why. You're just like, you just feel better. And so like, knowing that, you know, they're giving you solutions to, you know, physical life problems, then that'll be even more of a like solace to you. So did I use that word right? I think so. You got High Priestess, Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Hermit. So I'm saying that, like, you might want to take a step back from a certain connection next week on your own accord. Like, you're probably taking quarantine pretty seriously, and you're going to use it as a time to, like, really go within and do some meditating on your own. Because you might find that you might like try it out. You might like unintentionally do it somehow. Like I just started drawing, and so that's probably just like an unintentional way of meditating, of just being like, these are my thoughts and I'm going to let them freely flow through me, like with a pencil or whatever, or like writing a journal. I suggest that you write a journal because this is an insane time and this is like history in the making, and so it would be probably pretty helpful to you, or you know, just would be cool. And you know, after all of this, if you're able to like write down your thoughts every day or whenever you get the chance to, and then see it afterward and to like see what you're going through, because things are definitely going to be rocky for you, where you feel one way at one point and then the next day you feel a different way. And there's been like a part of you that you haven't unlocked yet, and so next week is going to be like you sort of sitting back, entering like a more peaceful energy and really trying to like unlock that like really bright light within you. I think I can get some more information with some of the energy cards. Because I'm seeing like the last reading I did with Selenite, they kind of had like clear ideas and all this, but like the ideas in all of these just seem kind of fragmented, and it's like really weird. And so, well, that goes again with this Seven of Cups, where I said that like you'll have a lot of options. Maybe there're just going to be a lot of things on your plate that you're thinking about. Okay. So you got Healer of the Ages. Oh, okay. Yeah, that connected with my Hermit. I had that feeling too. So I just didn't end up saying it. But like you maybe feel like you're some sort of healer, or you are maybe like a guiding light throughout this time, and like you feel like you kind of have some wisdom that you like want to bestow upon people during this time, and just, you know, maybe just put out good vibes, or like I know, like, I love TikTok, and there are a lot of, like, witches who will talk about, like, daily energies and talk about, like, how they're working through them and stuff. And so, like, next week, you're going to really focus on, like, getting that inner, you know, releasing that inner wisdom and being able to figure out how to store to value. Okay, you're going to figure out how to, like, quantify it in a way where, you know, you could put this on the internet, put whatever information that you have within and put it, you know, to good use for other people, to be of value to society. Because right now, everyone's losing their job, like the, currency and things like that are like, there are huge changes going on with all this in the economy. And so like you're finding value in something that's non-monetary, or you're building value in yourself with something that you may not necessarily, like everyone needs to know that they're valued. And right now is a really difficult time because people aren't, they're losing their jobs and like they don't have ways to support themselves, and that's really difficult. But know that like there are things that maybe they're not monetarily valued, but like they're of soul value to other people. And so that will be really comforting to you if you can produce sort of content like that for others. With the man holding a heart in reverse, you get the Two of Cups here, and then the man holding a heart in reverse. There may be like some sort of man that like you aren't letting in, or perhaps next week a guy who's going to be reaching out to you, and perhaps like a possible love interest, or an ex, something like that. Someone that sees you romantically, and you're going to say no. I think they're going to want to come in with communication, with maybe some sort of offer, or just like wanting to like chat. But like I think you're going to see with you going into like this period of like a little bit of solitude to kind of figure out the direction you want to move during this time. You're just going to feel like you don't have space within your like energy bubble for them to fit in, and you're going to feel like them reaching out is going to be like sort of attaching a cord to you, and you're just going to be like, I'm not for it. And so that's totally okay. That guy, if he truly is romantically interested in you, and you would consider pursuing a relationship with him, know that like he'll be there after like all of this, and after you take your period of solitude and everything. So like don't worry about that. Don't feel like you're like pushing anyone away or anything like that, because you're doing this for your your own self-love, and so that's the most important to you. Go ahead and pull from these guys. This is my rabbit deck. In the spirit of a rabbit, we got the litter mates in reverse. This is upright. Cute. The hawk in the sky in reverse. And then the winter landscape. Okay, so I see that you might be having some issue with remaining grounded. So with which also connects to the Six of Cups, of like you may be having really vivid dreams, and you can use those dreams to your advantage by asking spirit to answer real life questions for the physical reality. And the hawk in the sky in reverse is talking about grounding yourself so that you still are remaining in the physical reality. And so this is, going within. This isn't, diving deeper into spirituality and like, meditating so you're flying into the ethers. This is meditating to be at peace with your current physical situation and feeling like really like seeing it and accepting it for what it is, because that's going to be the thing that helps you get out of your anxiety. And with the litter mates in reverse, it's possible that you have a great set of friends that aren't going to be there right now. Especially with this winter landscape, you're going to feel really lonely and cold and alone next week. But like, this going inward should be a focus at stopping negative thought loops and relaxing your thoughts and just like being at peace with like right now, because you can easily make yourself go crazy, but like you don't have to do it. If you're able to like ground yourself and be like, all right, I'm feeling anxious right now. What should I do? I'll make a cup of tea. Now I have my tea. All right, I need to be productive and be some sort of creative, right? You can't, or you shouldn't, when you feel anxious, you shouldn't necessarily go to like, I'm going to meditate and do the law of attraction and imagine myself just super happy and out of this state, right? I'm rich and I'm in this place where I'm like, doing all these great things and I'm with my friends again. Although those can be like helpful tools, those are the things that are keeping you ungrounded from reality. And so, right now, yeah, you're like in this period of acceptance. So, and maybe that's why your reading is coming out so fragmented, is because you are struggling to remain grounded. And so next week is going to be you finding that peace and like kind of connecting all the dots within your life and no longer feeling like you don't have a hold on anything, because you'll be able to like think about everything that's actually right in front of you and realizing that you can make decisions and you can see all the options of what's there, because like life isn't that complicated when you're just looking at the current situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. That was a little bit hard for me to spit out, but there you go. If that resonated at all, please leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you'd like to watch future videos, and then also comment any future video suggestions if you have any. Okay, stay safe. Bye. Okay, if you chose Jasper, this is your reading. This is also Jasper. Pretty crazy, right? This has been amazing for my anxiety, by the way. If you find something, Jasper is supposed to be like, I believe it's like the stone of connection and friendship, and it has a calming effect. And this is like, my friend bought it for me and I charged it. I just put like the intention of, and the feeling that I wanted to get when I was wearing it. And I imagined like I was like holding and imagining all the energy of like that calming feeling, like the white light flowing into it, and until it was like glowing and surrounding it. And so when I would like put it up against me, it would just like radiate that energy into me. And I'm like no joke, I could be like feeling my heart pounding, and I'll put it on and it feels like this, like it is radiating like this blocking, calming energy that just keeps, like, protects me. I was at one point last week, I wore it for like 3 days in a row and I didn't take it off. So, and then I realized like I can't do that. I have to just like figure out my anxiety on my own. It's like, maybe I'll just sit through this heart pounding. Okay, so sorry about that. This is for next week predictions. You got the 9 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups in reverse, and then the 5 of Wands. So it seems like you're going to be luckier than other groups financially. Like, you might be a little bit worried just because of this whole situation, and then like, this is really putting everyone on guard, the whole, state of the world. And so you may be worried that like something is possibly going to happen with your job. If you're still working, like, you might be worried that something's going to happen with that, or that you might lose money suddenly. But next week, this is proving that, oh yeah, nice. You also got the 9 of Cups, and then you got the King of Pentacles. So this is proving that you are going to be actually pretty safe financially. So whether that that's something you are worried about this week, know that next week some opportunity is going to come along, and then you're going to feel okay. Whether it's like, say that you're afraid that unemployment check isn't coming or something. Like it'll, whatever you're waiting on or whatever you're worried about, it's going to follow through next week. And it'll definitely put you more at ease. But know that if you already are in a safe position financially, like it's okay. You can stay there, and it's that'll be fine. And you got the 2 of Cups in reverse, 5 of Wands, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So I'm seeing this maybe has something to do with like social media, that like you're gonna be viewing it differently. Because you're probably in quarantine and not around your friends as much. And so you might be feeling like you're watching your friends online and you're like, gosh, they're doing all these cool things. And like, I feel like I'm the only one that's stuck moving slowly. Like I feel like I'm the only one who has stunted manifestations, right? That's not the truth. The truth of it is they're all just putting on like a mask, and if it's not a mask, it's just like more so just like a desperation to like keep busy. So if you want to mirror that energy that they're exhibiting on social media, just keep yourself busy and just like be silly and find little things to post about, because social media isn't necessarily about having like these huge ideas that like are really drawn out, that require so much work. Sometimes it's just like constant posting of little things. Like say if you're just like, you're like, my friend is always, you know, say she's really close with their sister or whatever, and they're like doing all these things, they're doing all these fun videos, and they're like having, you know, their family's like, oh, we're all drawing pictures of each other. I don't know. And you're just like, what? I'm just here in my room and I can't do any of those things. I don't even have anyone to film me. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Just like literally post a picture of like 2 candles and be like, this is a story about 2 candles who fell in love. And then just like make up a story. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard. You know what I mean? I should take that advice for myself. Because I'm always like, oh, that's not good enough to post. But like really, as long as you like it, you should post it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm feeling like there's like some sort of thing you're going to get started on, or like whatever project that you're working on, you may be worried that like you're not going to get the sort of or like say you're working on some sort of project and you're like, oh shoot, this whole pandemic is going to make it that, so like it gets put on pause. But like this is just saying like your manifestations are slowed, but they're not completely stopped. So whatever you're doing, just keep putting your effort into it. And Knight of Pentacles is a very slow, steady energy. So keep that slow, steady energy going. If you are feeling bummed out, depressed one day, and you got to take a break, don't beat yourself up about it. You got all the time in the world right now. So there's worse things you can do than sit back and relax. But if you feel like frantically posting, that's fine too, because you always delete it. I'm getting this message like, you know how it's always like, oh, it's not like the whole world is watching, but right now the whole world is watching, but also everyone's sort of shadow side is coming out, and so everyone is like struggling with showing their shadow side on the internet. You know what I mean? So if like a lot of people are like experiencing loneliness and feeling like they're going crazy, and like they're really fighting against like posting a video of them like crying, or like being super upset, or being like, I have no friends and I've just been stuck in my house, you know? And so know that like if you post anything like that, those people's shadows are like right in the back of their minds already. So like if you post anything that you think in the future could be embarrassing, like it's not as embarrassing as you think, because it's a lot more relatable than you think. Okay, you got the Angel of Strength in reverse. Yeah, and that's, once again, I'm seeing that, like, next week there might be you might be experiencing some depression, just feeling some weakness, whether it's like physical weakness or just not being able to concentrate. And so, like, that might be something that's slowing your manifestations as well. If you're working on some sort of project and you just can't seem to, you might be doing online school or working from home. And so that it's just, like, so difficult to, once you, like, change up your area of, your workspace to, like, being at home, then I guess my advice to you that I'm getting is, like, don't, like, stay out of your bed as much as you can. Don't do work in your bed. Train yourself to, like, go have a, comfy chair, put a pillow on a chair. You don't have to, like, sit in a really hard chair or anything and just, like, break your back or whatever, break your butt. Sitting there doing work for hours on end, but just, like, have a comfy, like, study area or work area and have it as that, because your brain might be confusing yourself, and it's easy to, like, reach over and get onto your phone and scroll for hours when you're, like, in your bed, and you start feeling sleepier when you're in your bed. And then it also has the opposite effect of where, like, you start to not want to sleep in your bed anymore. Like, you just were in there for hours a day, so it's like when it's time to go to bed, then you're just, like, wide awake, because you're just like, well, I've been here all day, so I don't want to be in my bed anymore. So that might be a word of advice for someone. Then you got Deceit in reverse and the Angel of Love. This is a note of, like, not to be this is a time of, like, a lot of fear, right? And this is just a note to say that the way for you to combat fear of others is for you yourself to not be fearful of them. So just don't be worried about anyone, like, deceiving you or having bad intentions. Know that I watched a lot of Teal Swan's videos today, and she talked a lot about how everyone's getting trapped in their homes. A lot of people are getting trapped with family members. A lot of people who have, like, who were the causes of their original wounding, and they're, like, really having to face all the parts of themselves that they've pushed away, because you are everything, right? If you, like, are familiar with that concept of, like, you are everything, and so you can see yourself in everything. But the things that you, like, dislike the most, the things that, like, cause you this trauma, and the things that, like, you can't stand, like, those are the things that are going to be put in your face. And that could be even, like, if you aren't living with family, that could be just you being alone all the time, and, like, you can't you're, like, so unbearably lonely that you're just gonna have to deal with, like, really coming to terms with, like, how the hell am I gonna love myself right now? What the fuck can I do? Well, I guess I better start learning an instrument, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't feel like I have any value, then I better start making it, you know what I mean? Like, seeing, like, you have the power to ease your situation right now. And at the same time, everyone else is, so, like, she's saying, like, everyone is getting it, right now they're, like, being blocked in by a mirror. So, like, everyone here is, like, in their own reality, and then there's, like, a mirror surrounding them, right? So every single thing everyone is seeing is just a reflection of themselves. And so don't be scared of people, because the worst things that are coming out of them are just the things that they've been burying. These aren't, like, completely different sides to people. I mean, they are, but, like, they're still the same people, if that makes sense. It's just, like, there's right now the world is in this sort of, like, pressure cooker where it's just, like, all those, like, dirty, grimy things that all the people get, pushed down with all their coping mechanisms, and getting to, like, go out every weekend and just distracting themselves from their emotions with everything else in life. they can't do that anymore. So like you're going to see the worst of people. And it's still going to be the worst that they're seeing of themselves as well. So just know that, and know that like no one has the intentions of deceiving you or truly hurting you. If there are any negative situations you're in with other people, just like treat it as if you're this angel of love, that you kind of figured out that concept. I mean, I just told it to you right now, so that you figured out that concept that we're all living in a mirror, and the only way that the way for you to see love right now in the world is if you project that love. Because if you're going to be projecting negative energy, that's exactly what you're going to be seeing in your face the whole time. And I learned this I've been like really, I mean, it just sucks being home, right? And so I can't like partake in all the activities that I am so used to partaking on my own and stuff. And so it would just frustrate me. And then I'd be so angry, and my mom would be like, we're having whatever, like hamburger helper for dinner. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want this. Like I always had this sort of freedom. And I would get so mad at her. And then I'm like, eventually, like after a couple weeks, I'm like, well, what, am I just going to be mad forever? Like she's doing her best. Like, I'm like, this sounds like more of a me problem. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, just sort of releasing that like inner tension of just like anything that happens, just like flow with it, in the cyclical nature of like the moon, and that's going to be how your emotions are working right now. And so just try to see everything, like if you are really like just upset about something, try to see how you can like see whatever that thing you're upset as yourself, and just like really try to understand it. I feel like that's like a complex like spiritual concept that I may not be verbalizing very well, so I hope that made sense. But yeah, that's what I got for you, pile 3. I hope that was helpful. If that resonated at all, please leave a comment, and also please leave any suggestions that you have for future videos, as well as any questions you'd like me to ask. And then if you'd like to get a personal reading, I have that in the description box below. And then like and subscribe if you like it. Okay. Be safe. Bye. All right, group 4. You got the Desert Rose. My chair keeps squeaking, so once again, I'm not farting. Okay, so what do you have in store for next week? These are for my Rabbit Tarot deck. These just seemed like this is the deck I was called to. Okay, you got the rabbit feet. Child with greens. So you might be... This seems like a very action-oriented week for you. Next week. You got Tunnel in the Garden. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Okay, that means they're done spitting out cards. They're saying, stop shuffling us. Whoa. This might be mirroring a little bit of a wild energy that you're having next week. Sorry if this is cutting my head off. Like, when I positioned it, it was meant for right here. And now I'm like, doing readings like that. I don't know. You also got the Tunnel in the Garden in reverse. So yeah, with the rabbit's feet, I'm seeing that it's going to be action oriented. It's going to be pretty fast paced. It's actually going to be moving faster than you're expecting it to. Next week. Child with greens, I always take this as like a very, like whenever sometimes I like to mess around with the cards and just like pick up the energies, and I'll be like, give me something that's funny. And all the time the Child with greens pops out. And so I don't know. It's just a funny card. It's just a kid he's like holding a green, I guess. I don't know. But so I think you're going to be really like finding the joys in your life next week. With the tunnel in the garden, you're going to like kind of feel like you maybe have been struggling the past couple of weeks with just like some issues. Whatever, everyone's having different difficult issues with just their personal realities, and you're gonna finally feel like, well, there's no way around it. The only way out is through. And once you like, you're gonna have that breakthrough at the beginning of next week, and then it's just gonna like inject you with a bunch of energy, and you're just gonna like be really seeing the positivity and the joys of life at that point. Whoa. This is the energy oracle. See what kind of energies are coming at you next week. So we got door to personal healing, happiness in reverse. It's a pretty card. Interesting that it's in reverse. Okay, so I think maybe this has been the thing that you have been struggling with. Yeah, you got anxiety as well as storm warning in reverse. So your problem is, what you've been dealing with is like, dang, she really do be me though. Look at her, and like her makeup's running. That's so funny. Check out my TikTok, Lil_Lazuli, Lazooli. I like cry on there. It's really funny. It's funny to me after I cry. I mean, it's funny like during too. Anyways, go on there and like make fun of me. But okay, so got door to personal healing and happiness in reverse, anxiety, and then storm warning in reverse. So I feel like you are you've been struggling. You're like the spiritual concept that you've been like kind of at a standstill with. You're kind of like ramming your head against the wall with is that like you're trying to find your happiness, right? And you're like, where is it? Every time you feel like you make a breakthrough, then you're like, oh, there's another freaking step to my healing. What the heck? And then what you're realizing next week is that you've created this illusion to this door to personal healing and happiness, right? So like you're here and then the door here is here, and you're just like, I just gotta step through that door and I'll be there, and then I'll be happy. And but I can't figure out, I keep doing all the wrong things and it's keeping me in this state of anxiety and I can't get through the door. It's like those dreams where you like weigh 1,000,000 pounds and you're just like, oh, I'm almost at the door, and then the door gets farther and farther away and you're just like, get me to the door, just try to be happy. Tomorrow you're gonna be, or next week, maybe tomorrow, but you're gonna feel like oh, there is no door. I can stop imagining a door and just be happy now. And just be like, I don't have to keep beating myself up about doing something that made me unhappy. And with this storm warning in reverse, you're just like, I feel like I'm running towards the door, but at the same time, if I stop running, the thing behind me is going to catch me. And that's the thing that's making you anxious. And especially in like state of the world right now, where you're like, there's a storm coming and you're like, that's so scary. And then you're gonna like next week you're gonna be like, okay, nothing is personally really affecting me right now, so I don't have to be anxious all the time. And when I'm not anxious, I don't have to be constantly self-improving, because I can just be happy with what I have right now. That's going to be like that huge breakthrough that you have, that's going to like really just like settle you on the inside. And you're going to be like, oh, man, I was rushing all around doing a bunch of shit, trying to figure myself out. And really, I just had to not worry about it anymore and be like happy with myself and how far I've come already. And once you reach that point, then you're gonna be feeling that joy, and you're going to be like, oh, well, now I know exactly everything that, like, I know that I'm in my highest power right now, and so I can just do everything that brings me joy. And that's where the rabbit's feet and the child with greens come in. Is where you're going to be feeling like having all this energy, because you don't have to focus on all this self-improvement stuff, because you're not feeling that like weighed down, because you're like, well, I'm happy already, so I'm just going to do things that just keep me being happy. And with that includes following your joy and being funny. So maybe you're going to be like, well, let's see what this includes. But like maybe you're going to be like posting funny stuff on, who knows, TikTok. Maybe you'll be TikTok famous. Hit me up if you are. But like you might be able to like write funny stuff on Twitter. Like things are just coming to you and you're just having a good time. And you're just like watching TV and you're like able to like relax and just joke around, and just like maybe you'll pick up a new hobby and you'll really like it. You got the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. You get the World. So I have a feeling that like maybe you put a lot of effort into like you care so much about being productive, and next week you're gonna be in this energy of like, I don't need to be productive, I just need to be at peace and happy. And so you're just gonna be doing things, and you're not gonna care if it you're not going to care if it is like this huge project that's going to manifest this big thing in the long run. You're just going to be like, hey, you know what? I feel like doing a puzzle today. And then you're going to do a puzzle and you're going to really like it. And you're going to, at the end of the day, you're going to be like, you know what? That was productive. Because if I didn't do that puzzle today and I like busted my ass on like some work that I didn't feel like doing today, I know for a fact that tomorrow I would feel so drained and so upset and so depressed that I would be struggling my way through work again. When now I did this puzzle and I felt rested and rejuvenated, and tomorrow I actually like want to do work because I rested. And so like I rested mentally. Like maybe you have been resting physically, but like you definitely haven't been resting mentally, and you've been like just putting so much pressure on yourself. And so next week you're just gonna be like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like we're all, I mean, right now we don't really, every week or every couple days we're getting like new news and like new advisements on like what we should be doing right now. And so it's just like, you can't make big decisions right now. So it's okay to just sit in stillness and just enjoy yourself and enjoy the little things. Cause like nothing else has to be the worst, even though, like it's okay to just create your own little sanctuary. And the Knight of Swords, you got the Knight of Swords, and then the Hanged Man in reverse. So I think like you might be a Virgo. This feels like Virgo energy to me. But I don't know. I'm just saying that because I'm a Virgo. But like you probably have like so many things to say, but you like really hold yourself back from it. But this is possibly like on social media, but you really hold yourself back because you're like, I want to make sure I fully thought this through and I know exactly what direction this is going for this post. And like say it's like on Instagram and you just like have some sort of like big aha moment in your life, and you're like, oh, I want to like post a picture and write about it. And then you're like, but wait, does it match the entire aesthetic of all the rest of the pictures? And do my captions fit the theme to this? Like there are so many different criteria that you block yourself with, that you think you're putting up so that way you can have quality content for yourself. This could be like for social media creatively, or like at work too. But you put so much blocks up because you want everything to be perfect with this quality that you are just making up. When really, you're gonna find next week, if you just like unlatch that door or that gate that's holding back all those ideas that you have, that you're like holding back and like really knitting into this perfect blanket. Instead, you're just like, here's an idea, I'm gonna just throw it out there, see what happens. Here's an idea. And like, because you don't have to worry about like doing that so many times, and like not, because like you're already like a person in the mindset of long-term manifestation. So if you're just sort of like throwing things out in the short term, it's just gonna feel better, and you're gonna be able to sort through your ideas in a clearer way. I don't know if that's makes sense, but like I'm like seeing it in my mind. But like you might, it'll just keep you from procrastinating if you can just like start working on just a little bit of something. That doesn't mean, or if you don't have to have this fully polished, huge, perfect thing. Like, okay, let's put this in terms of music. Say that you like really want to be an artist, right? So you want to be a singer, right? You're like, you may be thinking, well, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make my album. I gotta make an album, and it's gotta be 15 songs, and it's gotta be this long, with this theme, with all these instruments, and I gotta sound like this, and the quality's gotta be great, so I have to send it out to a mixer and all this stuff. When next week you would be like, no, I'm just gonna take my phone and post a cover of me singing a song that I like, and then you sing it, and then you're like, that doesn't sound the best. But then you just like post it anyways, because what are they gonna say? They're like, oh, that sucks. Then you're like, oh, maybe it does suck. Then I'll just get better. Like, that's okay. Like, you put something out there, and now you're just like, well, I put that out, so I'll put something else out. And then you're like, man, when I put that out, that makes sense. Like, the way I sang that, I just didn't find my specific range. And so, like, maybe I don't necessarily sound like a Brandon Urie, whatever. Maybe I sound like SZA, And then you're like, I sang and then you sing a SZA cover, and then you're like, wow, that sounds so much better. And then you're like, that's I want to be an R&B artist now, and then you like write an R&B song, kind of like you putting out like little bits is not irresponsible of you. That's the realization that you're gonna come to next week. And then I'll go ahead and pull a couple more cards for you. Whoa! And then this will be your last message. Okay. You got excess, the Ace of Swords, and then money coming in. Which is, I don't know what this is. Maybe the Sun card? Profound happiness in reverse. Maybe the Sun card. Okay, well, you got excess and money coming in, so I'm reading that as maybe you got a little bit extra money, some spending money, and it maybe isn't a whole lot because you just got the single sword, but you got a little bit, and so you may be used to like just really hoarding your money and just like being like, I gotta save it up. I'm gonna save it for something big. And this is just saying like you get that little extra bit of money, and if you wanted to splurge and buy like I've been thinking about buying a ukulele, you know what I mean? if you're buying like a little thing that's gonna be like sparking that joy in you, just like, this is a message from your spirits to just go for it, because you're not gonna regret it in the long run. There's no way that, you know, that extra bit of money is gonna like completely destroy you. Yeah, so I hope, let me know what you'd be splurging on next week. And then if this at all resonates with you, let me know in the comments below. And then also let me know if you have any other question suggestions of what you want me to answer next. And then if you'd like a personal reading, I have all that in the description box below. So I hope you enjoyed that, and stay safe. Have a good night.